Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to be talking about the Aigaion raid. Now, we're going to be talking about different unit compositions that you're going to be able to bring. We're also going to be talking about kind of what the enemy is going to be doing and what you can kind of do to give yourself an advantage. Let's go ahead and dig in. Now, I think it is really important to note that the Soryu's armor that's going to drop from this raid is not the most must-have armor in the world. It's very specific for very specific Dragoons, and it's one of those pieces of armor that it's really nice to have Berserk and Charm Resistance for 3 turns, but it's not going to be mandatory to have, and I think a lot of people are going to be farming this raid for a second Diamond Coat, and probably going to put Soryu's armor on the back burner. Now, if you are someone who really wants to push this raid and get all of the different pieces of gear, there's going to be a couple things you need to know. First up, you're going up against Aigaion, who is going to be classified as a machine-based enemy. And because he is classified as a machine-based enemy, that does mean there's some things we can do to get an advantage over him. So first and foremost, we're going to take a look at our different esper options, and you can use any espers, but Guard Scorpion and Fryzess are going to be two of the best options for you because they both have access to Machine Killer in their kit. So if you go to their Esper training board, you will see that Machina Killer is an option and you get a whopping plus 25 Machina Killer. So if you're going to be someone who is bringing Cloud, for example, being able to spec into Machina Killer like it already is for me is going to give you a extremely high modification for your damage potential with Cloud. And if you have another ice-based unit that you're running, you're going to have even more damage potential with that unit as well. So in this raid, there are a lot of compositions that are going to be effective, and you're going to have a lot of different units that are effective too. When I was looking up the different kind of compositions and formations that a lot of people used on the JP side, I found a variety of units and a variety of compositions. And there's a couple unique units that I think a lot of people might actually have leveled that they should consider putting in their formation. And probably the most unique is going to be Murmur. Now, Murmur is a 120 unit, SR unit that I think is, you know, one of those units that a lot of people, if they have the resources, should invest in, because having her is very important for the Earth Select quest, but also because in raids and content where we are going to be doing Pierce specific capability or Earth Element specific capability, she has some tools that make her very unique. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. First off, she does have access to Stone Gut, which is going to lower the enemy's earth resistance, which is going to be very useful. Stone Rut is a break, which will lower attack magic and agility as well. But we're more interested in this situation in Defense Destroyer. Now, this is a piercing based attack that Murmur has access to. It's a 2-hit medium damage attack that lowers defense and spirit for 3 turns. So this is going to be a very effective way to kind of lower Aigaion's defenses. A lot of people have Murmur 120 because they do use her in the Earth Select quest, or you know, she's just been one of those 120s that I would recommend overall. So she is going to be a good fit in, and she is going to be capable of really bringing something to your team. A lot of the solo and duo compositions that I found did utilize Oberon as a solo and Oberon and Murmur as a duo composition. So even, you know, for duo compositions for Aigaion, you're seeing Murmur and you're seeing Oberon. You're not necessarily seeing compositions like Eileen and Oberon. And I actually think Eileen is one of those units that's going to offer a little bit less in this raid. And you may even consider taking another unit like Glaciella, who, even though she's a water element and we're going up against a lightning element based unit, Glaciella is going to have those multi-hit capabilities, especially if she's 120. She'll be able to survive more, and she's going to have the capability to use her limit break to break damage cap even more. You're going to see these kind of synergies. Now, one thing on global that we have that they don't have on the JP team is access to earth slashing compositions. So that's going to be access to GL Zazan, right? We have had GL Zazan now for a long time, and when the Aigaion raid initially came out on the JP side, they did not have access to that. GL Zazan, you can run an earth slash composition or even an earth slash composition, and you can probably utterly destroy Aigaion, particularly since we're also in possession right now of Zombie Ryu EX, who is a bonus unit, if I can point that out. He's going to be able to do a ton of damage. He's going to have access to Stone Blade, right? Which is going to give him Lightning Eater. And I do believe in his kit here, he does have Stone Blade as well, which is going to be large damage, and it's going to give him Lightning Eater. So he is going to have a huge damage potential coming up against Aigaion, even in his level 99 form. I imagine if you want to run him and, you know, do any type of chain compositions here, he's just going to be absolutely bonkers. If you pair him maybe with Ketone for the 3-hit attack, you could pair with Zazan and Zombie Ryu, and the next thing you know, you're just going to have kind of a monster slash composition. We also have Christmas Venera, who does have access to Sub Ninja. Now, she does not have access to triple she does have access to Dream Within a Dream, so you will be able to do 3-hit slash chains with her, which will be very powerful. She also has access to Sub Spell Blade, and she does have access to, there it is, Stone Blade right there. So she will have access to a low AP Lightning Eater capability as well. This is magic based, but if you do find yourself running a magic based composition, the bonus from Lightning Eater and kind of the bonus that you may be able to have from different VCs and espers on her, if you're getting creative, could be pretty powerful. You also have to remember that Christmas Venera does bring a mastery ability to your party, so she could be viable in that capacity. I think most likely, though, you'll be utilizing her for that Dream Within a Dream, and I think she'll be doing a lot of damage that way. Again, some standard units that you could also bring. Rain is pretty standard. Cloud is very relevant, especially with access to the Guard Scorpion Esper, and as well the Guard Scorpion Vision card. You're going to be able to run Cloud and kind of just slash chain your way to victory. Mono Lightning, also an element that's pretty dominant here and that I have seen clear compositions for. If you guys are familiar with PST, he is a JP YouTube content creator for War of the Visions. He cleared this with a composition that was Velnay, Cloud, 9S, and Frederica. And having access to both 9S and Cloud, you know, 9S of course being Lightning and Pierce. 9S also has access to Drain Rush from running Sub Nightblade, which will be really powerful that you could pair with Cloud. So if you do want to try and clear with a Mono Lightning, I imagine a Mono Dark would be very similar as well. It should absolutely be possible. If you are running a type of a rainbow formation, you could easily fit in Rain, you could fit in Laswell and Gilgamesh. I would recommend running Laswell or Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh, of course, for the slash attack down. Laswell, of course, for very high, powerful, high damage attacks. Both of them can be linked with Fryzess. And of course, Fryzess is the other Esper that does have access to Machine Killer. So you are going to be able to kind of grant that Machine Killer and that capability to your party. That's going to be very powerful. So I would imagine a composition that would be very powerful would be like Gilgamesh, Cloud, for example, both with the respective espers with Machine Killer. And then you could pair them with, you know, you're going to need a bonus unit, right? So you're going to need like Zombie Ryu for slash chains. So you'll put Zombie Ryu in there for Stone Gut Blade. You aim for chaining slash and you put another slash user in there. Doesn't matter who. You could put Mont in there. I think it's important to note here as well, if you're someone who's running a earth slash composition, Mont could absolutely fit into your formation and you could absolutely make him into a sort of chaining unit in your party. Now, a couple other things to think about if you are looking at different element formations or potentially using some of the other bonus units is that we do have some changes to the vision cards. And very specifically, that's going to be Clairvoyant Astrologer. So getting access to the ability Armor Piercer for basically any unit that has a main job or sub job of a spear wielding type. So having the capability to lower defense with Clairvoyant Astrologer is going to be very relevant. So if you are running maybe a Pierce composition, or you're trying to run something that will, you know, be able to lower stats and kind of deal damage as well, Armor Piercer from Clairvoyant Astrologer is going to do that. The other important thing here is going to be the Exorcist Vision card. And the Exorcist Vision card is one of those vision cards that I think a lot of people aren't necessarily paying enough attention to right now. And part of the reason for that is the changes have affected any unit who has a sub job for Soldier and Nightblade. And there are units with main job and sub job Soldier and Nightblade that don't have access to triple hit based attacks. So having access to triple trick in their kit, especially for Soldier jobs, because a lot of Soldier jobs have enhanced attack power, so getting a multi-hit ability is going to be really powerful for them. You're going to be able to get triple trick in here, and you're going to be able to chain very effectively. So if you don't have, for example, units who might have the right build or the right composition or even the right attack type, right? Maybe you have a unit who has access to sub soldier that doesn't have a lot of slashing attacks in their kit. Because they have access to sub job and main job soldier, right? They will have access to a slash based attack if you do put Exorcist on them, and you are going to be able to do a 3-hit chaining damage with them. So if you are wanting to chain slash, if you are kind of wanting to pull ahead, have the capability to do this, and kind of find a different way to build your formation, the Exorcist Vision card is absolutely going to be the way to go. If you are planning on bringing Oberon, I would definitely bring Clairvoyant Astrologer on Oberon, just so he has access to lowering defense as well. I would also consider on Oberon putting Alophocles. If you do pull him, I think having Alophocles in his kit is going to be very powerful. It's literally like a best in slot Esper for him. And so even if you pair, you know, anything with him, you're going to be pretty good and pretty capable of clearing. Again, though, I don't think this raid is one that you have to really worry about clearing. You know, you're not gonna have to farm it all week. You're not gonna have to get every single piece of gear that you want. Set out the piece of gear that you want, whether it's going to be like a Soryu's +5 armor, or whether it's going to be a diamond coat +5 to finish off your diamond coat set, and kind of leave it there and be happy with that. Some final notes here. Aigaion does have access to paralysis abilities, so you will want to set some form of paralysis resistance on your composition if you don't already have it. A lot of units do have paralysis resistance innately. The paralysis rate is also only 25% for Aigaion. It's not extremely high, so a lot of your units will probably have natural resistance to it up until you get to some of the higher levels for Aigaion. But once you do get to that level 100, that level 90, that level 80, you may want to start looking at, you know, if you're running a high faith unit like Zombie Ryu, you may want to put paralysis resistance on him so that he doesn't fall victim to getting paralyzed. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys do have a great experience with Raid. I will be streaming Tuesday night for when Alophocles and Patch Notes comes out. I'll also be streaming Raid on Wednesday morning. I usually stream my 1 through 100 to Raid. So if you guys want a live experience of kind of how to tune your Raid team, how to get your Raid team functional and working, that's definitely going to be something for you to tune into. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a great rest of your day.